September 15th at the Parish, 8:30 p.m. Two weird dudes present
A night of fuck.
See a thug and see broke, y'all still bullshit. Need to sit down, take a 2 and 2 money till we get Wall in that cool was ain't talking. Money speak, all that bullshit, keep run the side.
Wow. So yeah, big day in the Kelly household, fellas.
One time live came up on my feed where is a dude. I can't remember the phrase now, but he was saying a phrase 100,000 times in a row. And then like when he got to like the last couple of like countdown to like single digits, he was like crying. It was like, oh my God, I'm gonna do it. And then I don't know, it was fucking insane, dude. Also that I watched it for a good hour or so.
Dude, there's something wrong with my brain where a good like a countdown video, taking the shell off an egg, you know what I mean? Something like that where it's like, oh yeah, I'm about to be a part of something way bigger than myself here. Yeah.
Do you ever watch the videos of the people throwing things on a treadmill to see who wins? Like all the different cars.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I'm scrolling TikTok, it's because I'm high and I want to chill. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I got really into a wormhole of Hot Wheels race, like competitive racing once.
Nice.
Dude, people take that shit serious.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like old tracks where you just like hit a lever and it releases all these cars at once and people bet on it and shit.
Throwing down money.
Yeah.
Fucking 10 years ago, I went down the best YouTube video it's these people that make like RC style cars, but they're RC boats. I guess RC just probably means remote control. Like RC little boats, but they have like BBs that they shoot at each other and they do little wars with battleships.
Oh shit.
All British old dudes. And I was like, oh, that's tight.
Bunch of old British guys and out in Derry or something.
Oh yeah. We're somewhere, dude, doing something bad.
Fucking red coats, dude.
Where are you at, Ron?
I'm in San Antonio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You just get back from San Francisco?
Yeah, literally a week ago.
Nice.
Yeah, I was out there for a month. It was pretty fun. Just worked and did a couple shows, trimmed for my friend.
Hell yeah.
Well, speaking of shows, you want to just kind of start this off with talking about September 15th?
We got a fucking sword swallower. He's going to swallow us. So this isn't a euphemism. It's a real sword. I've seen him. He swallows a sword in front of you. Check this out. I got it offline. It does the strobe light if I wanted to.
That's just a gun.
No, the bottom part. It's
the flashlight. Is that a Glock?
No.
You're right.
A little Smith & Wessie. But it does this. Check it out.
So you can freak out the people trying to rob you before you shoot them?
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't get to shooting them. Hopefully they think, oh, a strobe light. You know?
Give the carjacker an epileptic seizure.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
You guys ever been? I went to a subreddit that was like just about concealed carry, just to read information, and half of it is just videos of people shooting dudes over cars and bicycles and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, there's people out there that wake up and go, God, I want to defend this car with the fucking threat of death.
Well, speaking of carjackings, one of my coworkers, her husband got his car broken into, and so this goes to show you how effective the police are here in Nashville. But so they chase him off, like, you know, they see him as he's getting into the car and trying to like hotwire it. And, you know, they're screaming like, hey, get out of my car. Like, you son of a bitch. And he's running at him with a bat. And this guy like runs off. Call the police. They take the report. And homeboy's like, so are you going to have to like search my car or anything, or like take it in as evidence? And they're like, oh no, like we got the report. Like if he ran away, we'll keep an eye out for him. They kind of winked at him, being like, we're not doing anything after this, really. Of
course not. What do you expect? You think they were gonna like check for fingerprints in the car? Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get the dogs out. Have the dogs smell the car. Hound dog this fool down.
Well, he was probably expecting something like from the Big Lebowski or that King of the Hill episode where they have to take it and strip it because he was inside the car.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like, no, we don't do that anymore. Like, you think we have a budget for that?
Yeah.
Anyways.
You're alive, right? So we're good.
Yeah. So, anyways, a month goes by and he's cleaning out his car. Like he's just vacuuming it and like, giving it just buffing and waxing it. He goes under the driver's seat to, like get some crumbs and the pennies out, and he finds a gun, and it was like a 1911 like Springfield
Whoa.
45 ACP. And he just so he takes a picture of it in the car and sends it to his wife, who's like my coworker, in the middle of the day, and she's like, and she just kind of just screams out, "What the fuck," in the middle of the office, and we all turn around. It's like, okay, like what's on your phone? And she tells us the story, and it's like, yeah, and he just sent me a photo of this pistol, and I was like, oh, what kind of pistol? She's like, I don't know. And when she shows it to me, I had a very similar reaction like you did, JT. It's like, oh shit, that's a 1911. Like that's a nice piece.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I'm mildly concerned that like you got excited over this pistol. And I was just like, hey, I'm from Texas. Like, it's in my blood.
Yeah, if you broke into my car and left me a gift, I'd be like, oh, okay, we're good. But imagine going up to that guy with a baseball bat like your boy did, just being like, hey, dude, get out of my, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, like
wow. I'm clearly a baseball bat guy, not a rough and tumble guy.
Yeah, scissors,
fucking
paper,
pistol.
but I guess the pistol fell out of his pants or something as he was getting in, and that's why he ran away, because he couldn't find it, or just...
I'm guessing he ditched it because he got caught. He's like, I'd rather leave it in the car, get out of here, than get caught without a pistol later in the day.
Yeah, sure.
Probably that.
My friend just moved into a new apartment.
Mm-hmm.
We're helping her move, and it's like in the hood. They're like nice apartments, but in the hood. And so we're like cleaning shit, and I'm like, get a stepladder, and I look on top of the refrigerator, and there's just straight up a Glock, like a 9 there, and I was just, whoa,
yeah,
yo, there's a 9 up here. And she's like, for real? And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna leave this here. It's probably on it. And I was like, but I was like, there's no way somebody just forgot this here on accident, bro. Like
the front lines of gentrification, you'll still find traces of the hood.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that there, bro. I was gonna stay there. Like, I don't want that. I was like, fuck it, I'm not touching that. You could go.
Yeah. That's a monkey claw of a gift right there, right? You find the gun.
Yeah.
I honestly, because Texas has such, I'm not going to say good reselling laws. I'll say loose reselling laws, whatever we want to say there.
Just loose laws in general.
Just loose laws in general. If I find a gun, I'm not worried about it getting arrested with it, because I'll just be like, oh yeah, I bought it from someone in a parking lot. I don't remember who it was. That's legal. And it's like, oh yeah, you didn't do anything wrong with that. So I was like, man, I'd probably have to like give it up to the state if I got caught with an illegal gun, but I wouldn't really. I don't know. One time I was in Arizona, and I was getting gas on the way driving back to Texas, and I looked in the top of the trash can, and there was like what was very clearly like a magazine. And I was like, oh shit! And I picked it up, and it looked like, I don't know, just like I couldn't really place what it was, just like maybe like a fucking Glock or like a bigger handgun. And I was like, oh, jackpot! And I started to dig through the trash more, and I realized like, oh, I'm like in a small town in Arizona, like close to the border, and I have to go through a checkpoint to get into Texas. And I was like, I immediately like put the magazine back into the trash, and I was like, this is a time where it's not worth it. I don't think Border Patrol would like to hear a fun little story of how I found a gun and kept it, you know? But yeah, I don't know if there was a gun, and I think there had to have been a gun in there, right? You don't just throw out one piece of a gun, I think, you know.
Sure, or maybe different places, depending on what
One time,
magazine goes in the can, pistol goes in the dumpster, you know. You know that old trick?
We call that the Robert Special.
Yeah.
My homie has a dwarf, or he's dead now, but he had like this dwarf uncle from Mexico that was a weapons dealer. We used to buy guns from him when we were younger, like hood-ass, like young, in our young 20s. And one time my homie came down from Dallas and he bought an SK from him. And this fool brought it out, like, and the gun's bigger than him. He's like an actual dwarf, bro. Like, out with this SK that's just wrapped in pants. So he's just like carrying this long straight pants like that's bigger than him to my homie, and it's just so fucking funny because it's just like, bro, what the why would you put it in any, like what do you think
it's wrapped in Dickies?
Yeah, these are really fucking ironed great, dude. This is like, it's so ridiculous. That dude was wild though. He just like he had so the craziest shit. He had grenades all the time, and just like, I don't know, there's a little ass dwarf who he accidentally shot my homie in the shoulder one time.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Yeah, legitimate high chair that he sat at the table, and he always had a strap on him, and he hopped off one time, and his piece fell, and it went off, and it shot my homie in the shoulder.
Oh, dude, little guy keeps one in the chamber.
Dude, he was a crazy ass motherfucker, bro. Didn't speak English. He was always just like, every time I'd open the door, it was so crazy because every time I go to my homie's house, I would just have to like look down because the door was open, and he would just be there, and he was just like he was like the smallest dwarf I've ever seen in real life. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
How big are we talking here?
Like Wee Man?
Yeah, like 2 feet, dude. Like,
whoa.
Like, you know, like maybe like under 3 feet for sure, dude. He was like the smallest dwarf I've ever seen.
Wow, I love that he found what he was passionate about and made it a business. That's really cool to me. He's respectful to face adversity that I couldn't imagine, and he's still running weapons and grenades. Wow, little guy, big heart. That's what I'd say.
Yeah.
That's vision.
When he had a funeral, he had a normal sized casket.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's like the funniest thing in the world. I was like, hell yeah, dude, this is fucking sick.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because it was cheaper or what? Like, he didn't want to get a kid's one, or I don't know what the fuck it was, but I remember when we went to his funeral, it was just normal, and I was like, this is fucking funny.
That's cool. I mean, could you imagine? You just died. You'd lived your life, you know, pretty much maintaining violence for that's, you know, an incredibly tough life to live, and then you go, okay, what do you want? A children's casket? No, man, I'm a grown man. I shot a guy jumping off my high chair one time. No, I don't want a child's casket. I lived a man's life. I'll take a man's casket. Fill the rest with my money and grenades, please.
Yeah. I miss that guy. He was cool.
That's a cool life. Man, I've always wanted, I don't know. Because like homeschooling Boy Scout dads, like libertarian, I make my own bullet dads. I grew up knowing kids whose dads had grenades. And I always thought that is the most insane, cool thing to have in the world. Because like outside of like doing what every dude would want to do with it, which is like throw it off the edge of a cliff, like there's no reason to have that outside of a standoff that you have built up in your mind. In your mind, you go, well, if I ever get into a standoff, that's the only outside of like, which is why, you know, you want to throw one off a cliff, see what it does, right? Yeah, of course you want to throw one in like a body of water, see what it does. But outside of that, there's like, hey, yeah, what if the standoff that every man dreams and fears?
The ATF standoff.
Yeah, our own personal standoff. So I got the grenades around.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny as fuck.
Have you ever thrown like the single firecrackers into the lake and just watch them like explode?
Oh yeah, used to do that in my friend's pool. Awesome.
That's the big boy version. It's like, well, let me get a pineapple grenade and toss that in there, see what happens.
Yeah, for sure, just for fun on a Saturday.
Yeah. Worked with this dude at Atmosphere, the telemarketing place I worked at, who had his FFL, I think is what it's called, the federal license you can get to get all like the class 2 and class 3 shit. But because I know that because I read to his Instagram thing, I was like, "Damn, don't post guns like this. This is like not legal, my G." And he's like, "No, I have like the license for it." And I was like, "Oh, you're a new type of friend. What's up, Scott?" So I went up to it at work and I was like, "Dude, you have like you can just have that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I have it all." He has a grenade launcher built into like an AR build that he has, and has grenades for it, and was showing me videos of him shooting grenades. And I was like, "Dude, take me out. Please let me go to your property. I'll let you say whatever you think about politics. I'll let you say whatever you think about anyone. I'll just nod my head like, yeah, dude, I think that too. And let me shoot a grenade with you. This is wild."
Let me just pop one off, and you can say whatever you want about the deep state.
I'll be like, I hate him. Yeah.
A racial slur.
What was that?
Do you think he'll let me go if I let him call me a racial slur?
No, dude, oh, man. I guarantee if you win, there's nothing you can do to stop him.
That seems like a pretty good trade-off to shoot a grenade, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I'd give a lot. I'd give a lot more than I should want to give. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would, I'd give a lot. There's something, I don't know. I don't want to shoot someone with a grenade. I want to shoot a grenade at like a building we built. You know what I mean? Like, oh, shoot it at see what happens when you shoot it at that tough shit I bought. Not so tough now, are you shit?
You go to Home Depot with them, and it's like, all right, we want these two over here in red, that one over there, and you're just outside near the nursery where they have all the little like sheds and little barns you can get.
Load them up.
Let me get that one with the 2 windows. Kind of looks like a little house. Yeah, we're blowing that one up. JT, you're gonna have to kick down the door, and then you're gonna blast it.
Man, I remember the first time I felt the worm brain is when I was at a gun range when I was probably like 21, 22. And it was the first time I saw like a Sega in real life, like one of those AK-47 style weapons, but it has like shotgun shells. And so you're shooting a 12 gauge as if it's an AK. And it like, I never really thought about a gun like that before. And I saw that and I was like, why do I want to shoot that? So like, there's no purpose for that. That's insane. Unless I want to destroy the first level of an apartment building. There's no reason on God's good earth that anyone should have that or make that or have thought of it. And I was like, I want it so bad. I want to shoot that so bad. There's something wrong with me. I don't know what it is.
Explosions are.
Oh yeah, Transformers movies when I was a little kid. That's what did this to me.
The Transformers.
Thanks, Shia LaBeouf. Did you ever see any consequences from shooting Roman candles at people? I never did. It like if it hit them, it was like silly. It never anything bad happened. What's up with that? I don't know anyone that has a bad Roman candle story. It's all like, oh yeah, it burned, it was bad, but nothing. It's the extent of the story. I never hear anyone getting blinded or disabled from it. It's always like, oh yeah, it burned for a sec. Look at this little burn I got. And it's like, man, wow.
Yeah.
How did we all get away with that?
Should do it again soon as adult.
Oh yeah. Man, I would. I grew up until I was like 12 in Hawthorne, like which is right outside like the South Bay area. It might be in the South Bay, but it's an LA area. And like,
oh yeah, I know where Hawthorne is.
So I grew up there, and like the day before 4th of July and New Year's every day, these like lemonade stand looking fireworks stands would pop up and you could get everything. It was amazing. It was like you didn't buy fireworks until the day before 4th of July because it was like, oh yeah, the ones that say fireworks in a handwritten sign, those places slap. And it was just lawless. You could get like not just bottle rockets, but the type of things you'd see at like air shows where like you put it on the ground and like it's like just a heat of fire like 2 feet around it. It was nuts. Yeah, one time I saw one fall on its side. It was crazy looking.
Like the factories you can go to, and it's just a giant factory of explosions. You're just like, damn, dangerous. It's probably a factory and clothes. Like this is fucking crazy.
There used to be one out in Lakeway where I was growing up. There's like the big metal shed, and it was a Black Cat factory.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine the people in the Black Cat factory. You just make up fireworks all day.
I always thought the funniest thing in the world, and I used to do this at like the Family Fitness in Citrus Heights and then my friend's apartment pool, where you light like the big ones, the one that like, I guess they're firecrackers, but they just come in big circles. They're very illegal in California. They're like big, and it's just like lines of firecrackers. It just sounds like rapid fire just for 1,000 little boys. You know what I'm talking about? Like Black Cats kind of?
Yeah. It's like the big roll.
Bundle of them.
And you can just like whip them down and make a big line or just keep it rolled up and be that guy.
Keeping it rolled up, lighting it on fire, and right as the first one would pop, throwing it into the pool was the coolest thing in the world. Because it was like light up the pool, but also like it would like separate. And I don't know, it was just wild. It felt like it was a storm. I felt like I was playing God. I was Poseidon himself. I loved that. I was like, this is evil what I'm doing. I'm like, whoever controls the weather, I'm just like you.
I used to like putting them in the barbecue pit. Yes. Yeah. And fireworks are badass, man. We should go get some.
Yeah, fireworks have always been cool. They'll always be cool.
Chinese knew what they were doing with them.
Oh, yeah. Have you guys seen the rehearsal? That part where he's trying to get all the quiz information of that guy. He goes by the murder scene. The cop goes, "I curse the Chinese for inventing the gunpowder in the 1500s."
Series. That shit made me cry.
Oh, the end of it?
Yeah, that scene. I was laughing so hard. Like that typically was so fucking funny. I got really. One night I was really still. I was like coming down on acid, and I remember thinking about fireworks, and I was like, "What's the fucking history of these in America? Like, who does all the firecracker shows?" And I started like deep con research, and then I found out it's two feuding Italian families from Italy that both migrated to America, and they both have. This is all real, by the way. They both have secret family recipes for explosives. And basically, like everything from presidential inaugurations to like World Series to fucking Super Bowl, or they're done by one of these two families, and they just both have secrets, like secret family recipes, and they just feud about who really brought mainstream firecrackers like that to America. It's really crazy.
They gotta team up,
dude.
Would love to see those families work together. Could you imagine how good fireworks could? What if it's the same ingredients? They just laugh They just all laugh.
No, one of them's over there touting better ingredients, better fireworks.
Yeah. It seems like it would be a good reality show.
The Firework Boys?
Or shit, you know?
What if we wrote a screenplay and it's basically Hatfields and McCoys, but it's the fireworks families?
Hell yeah, dude. That's what
Go way overboard in how Italian they are. Just the most like they're all in suits driving old style Cadillacs into daytime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll make it a prequel to The Sopranos.
Oh, you know, my kind of like, because all reality shows are kind of bullshit, but here's my kind of bullshit reality show that I'd like to play straight. And I think, oh my God, Ron, you'd be a great fit for this. So I got into metal detecting at the beginning of quarantine because I had a job and nothing to do. So I bought like a $300 metal detector, the dumbest thing I've ever done. And I told my wife, I'm going to be a metal detector guy. Did it like 5 times. And honestly, it was fun just walking around metal detecting, but didn't find anything. But I was watching YouTubes of dudes that did it, and they all are like preppy fucking rich kids. All of them. They all have like high-tech everything. And I was like, I'd love to do like an outlaw version where I get like old, like gnarly looking dudes to go and like every time we run into other metal detectors, like fucking intimidate them and like let dogs off leash and stuff like that. And just be like, we're bringing the bad back to bad metal detecting.
Oh, yeah.
Put it on TLC.
Yeah. We'll bring a motorcycle gang with us, and it could be like a crossover show.
Yeah, dude. I was like, we're looking for some rings that this motorcycle club lost at this rally. Well,
Yeah.
we're the only metal detecting club that they can trust because we're outlaws. Like shit like that, and just totally oversell it and like put like bandanas around my head. Be like, God, I hate doing this, but I love to find the treasures.
A bunch of dudes out on parole, like former banditos.
Yeah, sure, dude. It'd be like that show where the prisoners rehabilitate puppies, but they're just metal detecting.
We take kids from the inner city and take them metal detecting.
Yeah.
Just hot out, they hate it. We're like, I don't think these kids are savable. Metal detecting is the only vice that got me out of trouble. I don't think these kids are savable. No, I think they're a wash. If they don't love the metal detecting game, they're out. They're a wash.
Buy a brick.
It's like you're not finding anything. You're building character. And it's like, man, this sucks. I haven't found anything in 3 days.
Yeah. Pretty much we thought of Holes. We just thought of the movie Holes. we're using kids to get treasure for us.
It's the 2022 version of Holes. You get a shovel and a metal detector. And they're like, no, you are going to try and find some cool shit while you're out here and just give it to us.
That is a good idea.
When I was in 3rd grade, they took the entire 3rd grade class to the South Texas Cotton Gin Museum, and then they taught us the cotton. They didn't mention slavery at all, and then they made us pick cotton, and then they made us turn it in at the end. And the only thing they gave us was a seed so that we can grow our own at home. It was fucking crazy. Like, for a while, I thought it was one of those memories. I was like, there's no way that really happened. And I thought I like making it up in my head. So I like looked it up and I was like, oh no. Yeah, there's South Texas Cotton Museum. It's on like an hour and a half away. We definitely went there on a fucking bus. It was an all-day trip.
They made you pick cotton. For how long did you pick cotton for?
You're just supposed to get a couple, like a handful. They gave us like these little like satchel things. It was crazy, dude.
They give you a hand hoe. They're like, that way we can tell if you're working or not, if you're standing. They give you the handheld one.
I thought we were going to get to keep it at least, but we had to turn it in at the end, dude. It was fucked up.
Damn, that is the most wild. I'll be honest. I do wish you were like, well, they made us do it for like 3 or 4 hours, just enough to get like a good, like if that was the case, yeah, that'd be chef's kiss incredible. That's nuts. They just taught you how to pick cotton. They didn't mention slavery. That doesn't surprise me. It's funny how much, like, how you can go to like very slave heavy industries and it's like, yes, and the workers of these industries. It's like, yeah, Vermin's there. I see it. Yeah. I thought of the funniest thing the other day. But honestly, this is going to sound so cringe. I'm going to make a TikTok saying the same exact thing, though. But I was like, my chick was like, we were looking for a church to go to on Sunday, but like, we're not right-wingers, right? So like, we're not going to go to a church that doesn't fuck with gay people. But the thing that these churches do, where they don't say like, we don't fuck with gay people, what they say is like, oh, gay people are welcome. But they're like, and then they'll be like, and so are prostitutes and thieves and Filipinos. Like, it's like, They
Wait,
do
was
this
that
thing where-
last one Filipinos?
Yeah, they'll do this thing where they pretend like, and it's like they'll like, oh yeah, oh, gay people are welcome. All kinds are welcome. It's like, well, hang on. Now that you said, it's like, oh yeah, everyone's welcome. Even the bad races. It's like this weird thing where it's like they say like, oh, everyone's welcome. That means everyone, including gays. And it's like, I don't like the way you said that they're welcome though. That makes me think you don't actually fuck with gay people the way that you're making me think you do, you know?
I don't like how you lumped him with serial rapists.
Hey, this is actually open for everyone. All sinners. And it's like, there's my favorite Jesus quote is it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. One of the coolest fucking things you can say, right? That is awesome. That is those heavy-handed, like, oh yeah, if you're so rich, why don't you spend your money trying to get a camel through the eye of a needle? It's not gonna happen, man. I would love to see churches that have banners that it's like wealthy, welcome, regardless. And it's like like churches being like, oh yeah, we allow wealthy, murderers, anyone. You know?
All right. So when I was growing up and I was going to Catholic school, we would have to light candles to send prayers to heaven. But I hated this kid in my class. So every week I would make sure that he went before me and I would just blow out his candles to cancel out his prayers because I thought I was fucking up life.
Okay, I did miss it. I didn't know you were blowing out his candles. That's hella fucking funny. I thought you were canceling out his candles with your own prayers. No, you took the low road, baby. I like that. I like you said, have fun up there, man. I'm just gonna take that away from you.
Never getting there, dude. And we used to get to say peace be with you, but I'd always skip him. Like I just never wanted. I fucking hated this kid. I don't even remember why at this point.
It's kind of like when in Little League when you have to go down the line and like shake everyone's hand and go good game. You're just like psych to him every time at church.
Kid that's is better than you, and you're like, fuck, man.
I didn't grow Catholic. I got no types of experience with Catholicism. It seems fun. It seems like Christianity with a little witchcraft mixed in. Seems tight to me. But I went to a bar the other day, and there was a priest at the bar. And he's still wearing his priest costume. And I was like, hey, can I buy that costume? And would it be offensive if I wore it as long as I didn't wear the little thing there? I just wore like the shirt. And he was like, didn't want to answer it because it was like, I think he was like, yeah, bro, don't actually do that shit for me. But yeah, he invited, I didn't know that priests live at the church that they teach at.
Oh, yeah.
I said, what was that? Is that just to defend against the Jews? And he laughed way too hard. And I was like, all right, buddy, that should be a cautious laugh. That should be like a ha-ha, not like a wake. You know what I mean? Reel it in, my man.
The church is weird, man. It's crazy that also we would they would make you watch the reenactment every year of Jesus getting crucified. And you're just like, man, just traumatizing little kids is how you really get them to be members forever. You know, you tie fear into it. Yeah, fuck, man, this guy did die.
There's two types of Jesus. There's the nice like ripped Jesus on the cross. He looks nice and like waxed. Then there's like the old school Catholic look, which is the like emaciated and like bloodied one.
Yeah, definitely.
Fear of God, like Old
Give
Testament.
Jesus a hot bod, dude. If he died on the cross for my sins, the least I can do is give him a hot fucking bod with juicy abs and a fat schlong. We're gonna throw Jesus up there with some tiny ass dick with his rib showing, dude. He died for your sins, motherfucker. Okay.
JT wants dripping hog on his Jesus.
Dripping hog. I wanted to have a fat tattoo on his chest that looks dope. You know what I mean? I want it to be like the two reefs and something inside, like a bulldozer or something. You know what I mean? Just real fucking like, damn, what? That's cool. Working class, like a forklift or something. You know? Something I go, damn, Jesus, that's tight, dude.
There's a leather daddy museum in Chicago, and there's a sculpture of Jesus on the cross, but it's backwards. And it's just Jesus's ass, and it's so big, and it's one of the funniest things. I'll send you a picture.
That's so good. You know Tom of Finland? You ever seen his stuff?
No,
it's like very plain. He's like a classic gay artist, but it's like all like leather daddy style stuff. But it's like striking, and if you saw it, you'd be like, oh shit, I do recognize that. That's been on like a lot of stuff because a lot of it was like like biker stuff that was like down low bikers that are like sneaky about it. And so, like, the crossover there is really interesting. But I have a few of his shirts. I've always worn the clothes. I think it's so tight. But one of them is like a little darling one where it's like two bikers and one's naked and they're holding each other. And my wife gets so, like, I'm a woman from Seabrook who does not want her husband wearing that shirt. It makes me want to wear it every day. I love it. And, like, she like, called her mom the first time I wore it. Her mom was like, she was like, I just want to show you the shirt JT wants to wear. And she showed. And so my favorite thing is this fake argument I have with her family where I pretend like I don't think it's gay. And I'm like, dude, the shirt isn't gay. It's just two guys on a motorcycle. And it's my favorite. I get into it all the time. I love to wear this shirt. And they're always like, that's a gay, two gay guys. I'm like, no, it's one gay guy and a straight friend. This is a shirt about just being friends with people maybe different than you. Like it is. Oh, I love this battle. It's my favorite. What was that?
This is a shirt about unity.
Yeah, dude, this shirt's about bringing people together and not about the hatred you have in your heart about whatever shirt you think is right or wrong, man.
JT's trying to bridge communities.
Yeah. Leather daddies and me.
Have you worn that shirt out in Tulsa?
Yeah. Oh, do you know what shirt I haven't worn in Tulsa yet? That shirt, I wear the shirt all the time. I think it's so funny. It's the one with John Lennon and it has keys and crosshairs and it says justice has been served. I don't actually hate. I don't really think about the guy, but people's response to it is the most like literal, like it's like this fool's their uncle. Like it is the most like, how dare you wear that shirt about this guy? I love it. It's wild to me.
People would like that shirt there.
Do you think people would like it in Tulsa?
Yeah, I feel like maybe they hate the Beatles.
Because they said they were bigger than Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason I don't like the Beatles. I say bigger than my fat, chunky-ass Jesus with a healthy schlong and ripped fucking body? No, you're not more famous than my Jesus. You're not my Jesus.
Well, speaking of Jesus and church, how was the yoga, JT?
Oh, Ron, I've been doing Christian hot yoga. Everything in Tulsa is Christian.
Everything in Tulsa is Christian?
Everything. You go to a coffee shop, it's a Christian coffee shop. Everything's a Christian. And honestly, I am loving it. Because I got all my like young man tattoos that are like my big upside down cross, like my like devils, like all my like, you know, my most of my life being like, because now I just don't care. When I was younger, I was like, dude, fuck religion, fuck all that. Now I'm like, yeah, dude, really, I'll go to church on Sunday. Let's get the coffee. I'll sit there for an hour stoned as hell. Let's do this. You know what I mean? Like I love being 30, man.
How drive?
What was that?
How long is the drive to Tulsa?
It is like 5 hours.
It's curious. Okay, so hot yoga.
Oh, it's Christian hot yoga. So they got Bible verses on the wall. It was like they only played a little bit of Christian music, to be honest. I was expecting full worship music the whole time. They still said like universe and energy and namaste. I was kind of disappointed. I was expecting it to be a little more heavy-handed, where like we get on they're like, now this is bow to Jesus pose. You know what I mean? Like I was hoping that's what we did do something I ain't never seen before in my life in a yoga class, and we did banana pose. And I'm like, all right, y'all made this up. But like we laid on our back and shaped like a banana. And I was like, this is the most like middle of America version of yoga I could ever imagine.
I just imagine like a painting that's Jesus like on the crucifix, but instead of his legs being nailed, they're just behind his head, like in
Dude, I would love to commission Jesus doing yoga for this place.
like, hey, I got you guys. I'm a really big fan of this class, and I got you this. That sounds like a good community to go prank, because it would be nothing harmful, because you could go there and just be like if I were to go there, it'd be like, hey, I would walk up to the most like conservative Christian and just be like, oh, hey, I want to make this video about how Christians are the most forgiving, understanding people in the world, because that would make them so uncomfortable, because they're just gonna be thinking I'm fucking crazy, and it would just be funny to capture like genuine looks of concern on people like that. That's
good, man. That's actually, I would love to see if we could get the owner of the Christian yoga place on the line. That actually sounds like a really good interview. I just like the idea of being like, hey, I love your guys' vision here. I love the idea of bringing Western Christianity into yoga. That's what yoga is needed. I just want to commission 3 pieces of Jesus doing yoga poses with the healthiest, most juicy yoga fat ass you've ever seen in your life. And it's because he keeps that shit tight for us. It's not for him. Oh my God. When God looked down and saw him on the cross and he took all of our sins upon him in that moment, he said, give me the healthy, juicy yoga butt. And then we're going to do that for him right now.
Dude, Jesus.
You know what the icing on the cake would be? You put a little Lululemon logo on his crown of thorns.
The BJJ place here is closed on Sundays too, which is like, whoa, what's wild. The jiu-jitsu guys don't do it on Sunday. They're busy.
Everything closed there on Sundays?
A lot of stuff, yeah. Like the best coffee shops.
Is it a dry county?
No, drinking here is like heavy. Everybody, the coffee shops serve cocktails. You know what I mean?
That's
a big drinking town. Oh yeah, we went to the bar by the house and we met like the priest and like a bunch of old Catholic people that want us to be Catholic. And I was like, fuck it, I'll be Catholic. You guys seem great. They were just drunk as all fucking get out. It was great. I was like, I could be Catholic. You guys are chill.
Dude, when I was in LA, I met this girl at a bar once, and we exchanged numbers, started hanging out. And at first, I would only pick her up at her job. She would be like, "Oh, hey, let's hang out. I get off at this time, whatever. We can hang out after that." Okay, cool. Then I would drop her off, and it would always be. She was like really vocal about it too. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna have you drop me off like around the corner because I don't feel comfortable. Someone knowing where I live. I just met him. I was like, oh yeah, this is really smart. Cool." So then after a few months, I was like, I noticed one day I was like, oh man, this is like been months of this. It's kind of weird or whatever. So one day I was just like, yo, what's up? Like, I've never seen like where you actually live. Not that you have to show me. I'm just saying like, it's kind of at this point, it's kind of like interesting to me. And she was just like, well, I don't know how to say this, but I'm kind of homeless. And I was just like, well, what do you mean kind of? She was like, so basically I grew up really Christian. She was actually from Oklahoma. She was like, I grew up super Christian. So I know exactly what to tell families so that I can just stay with them for a couple months. So she's like, I just pick a church and I go there and I meet a family and I tell them my situation, how I moved here and I don't have anyone. And I just stay there for a few months until I find a new place and a new church to go. I'm like, that is fucking insane, dude. She was cool as shit though.
She sounds cool. Is she an actress?
No, she was a musician and she like was in like a group that like she was really big in Europe. They had like a huge following there and she was always on tour and shit, but I guess that's why she didn't really ever get a place. But yeah, she was wild. One time we stopped hanging out though because we got in this argument because she wanted to get coffee and she wanted to go to Starbucks and I was like, yo, dude, there's like a million places around here that aren't Starbucks. We probably should just do that. And then she was like, what the? And then I don't know. She just went off about Starbucks and then I just started laughing. And she started walking off, and then we never talked again. Very interesting.
Dude, I dated a girl, the same exact thing. Well, obviously not like some famous European bitch, but like I remember I was walking around with her, and like we got into a little argument, and she walked off, and it was like, oh shit, this is it. And it was like the same type of thing. Like a few months we dated, it was fine, nothing weird. And then we got into one little argument, and like I remember it was on South Congress too. She walked off mad. I didn't chase after her or anything, and it was like we never texted, we never called, blocked me on everything. I was like, wow, very clean break. Absolutely great.
What was the argument?
It was something similar. It was literally like, do you want to do this? And me like, wow, that's dumb. I don't want to do that. And it's like, oh, so things are just up? No, hey, I just think, you know what I mean? Like very much like, well, obviously we have two different opinions about something. But, you know what I mean? Just it was literally like, do you want to go? Something. It was something similar to where it was like, do you want to go to this coffee shop? No, I'd rather go to a good coffee shop. What's wrong with this one? Oh, it's just not as good. Something like that. It might have been like, we want to go to Tom's Coffee or some crap like that. It was very much like one of those style, like, no, we just disagree. I don't want something like that. I'd rather get tacos at a fancy place, you know? Some shit like where it was like, no, our worldview is just slightly different here and we'll never be able to be on the same page.
I remember going on a rant about supporting local business. And in retrospect, I was like, man, I was just high and ranting. Probably could have just went to Starbucks. It would be cool. But I was just like,
I love how many opinions I have when I'm not thinking. And then I think about it. I'm like, I don't actually have that many opinions. But I'll just say like my immediate gut response is like, well, I should say exactly what I think as if it's a matter of fact. Oh, we got to talk about the show we're doing.
Yeah.
Should we give out free Starbucks at the show we're doing on September 15th at the Parish?
We're giving out $2,000 in local coffee shop gift cards, and one person will get the strobe.
Strobe light attachment for a pistol.
How does this work? I want to be able to strobe.
Do you think the sword swallower is going to let us interview him?
Hope so. There we go. I couldn't even. Yeah, I think you should interview us.
So is the plan just for it to be just like any other typical comedy showcase in Austin?
It's anything but you're any other typical comedy showcase in Austin. Why? We got a sword swallower. We got free candy. There's a special surprise.
What's the surprise?
Fight Club style, man. It's gonna be wild. We can't tell anyone about it.
Okay.
The goal is to make it more interesting than your normal comedy show. Is the goal. Make it weird. Two weird dudes hosting some entertainment. Some good old-fashioned night of entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah, no laws allowed. This is madness.
Fireworks.
Yeah. Almost like a variety show. A local variety show almost.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say something about Canadians, but I couldn't think of a joke. So then I just bailed on it.
Man. Ooh, hey, do you want to try to make a sound bit to promote at the beginning of the show? Like
Episode?
yeah. Like
Just-
come to the come to the show, you know, something like that.
Just
Yeah, me-
come to the show.
Yeah, you say something, then I'll say something, and we'll do it in less than 30 seconds.
Okay. So just start.
Yeah.
All right. September 15th at the Parish, 8:30 p.m. Two weird dudes present a night of fuck. Okay, hold on.
A night of fuck! And then we can start the music.
Yeah.
I feel like that's enough information. 8:30, that's perfect. A
Yeah.
night of fuck.
Yeah, tickets online and at the door.
Tickets
Yeah.
online and at the door.
Link in the bio.
Yeah, I'll pull that.
Link in bio. Go ahead and hit subscribe.
Smash that subscribe.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe. Suck on my dick.
Swear the rims is glistening. They got see the wood cause the top is missing. I sleep on dreams cause it's paper I'm chasing. My roots come from Texas, this inflation. On the side, 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 on the side,